This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by
nhliberty.org.
Well, I'm standing here with Dan Itza, the man behind H.C.R. 6, the nullification bill in the New Hampshire House, which would have drawn lines in the sand against federal encroachment. And then the topic of gossip surrounding that hearing and the vote on that issue lately. Everybody's talking about all the heckling that went on when the state reps voted it down. You're saying how much impact do you think that's having? Is that having a really negative impact on the reps?
It had a momentary impact on some of the reps. The Republicans, by and large, were not at all discomforted by it. I would say a significant minority of the Democrats were upset. There were a handful that were terrorized. But that's from their perspective. I don't think there was any terrorism made. I mean, there are people who become fearful if you look at them cross-eyed. So, was it out of order? Yes. No one was upset by the initial outburst. After the Speaker gavelled the House to order and the House did not come to order, that was the behavior that went beyond what was acceptable. However, what's important for the people to realize is that at the end of the day, Representative Eaton, the majority whip, referred to that behavior before on the House floor as despicable behavior. And that gave me the occasion that when I was making my apology to the House, that I took umbrage at the adjective that he used and called the people to the mind the fact that they were sent there as the servants of the people in the gallery, and that the people who were there were a whole new group of people that had not been traditionally politically active, and that while those of us in the House are accustomed to getting kicked in the gut and then standing up and shaking hands, and those of you who are up there regularly lobbying on bills are aware of the decorum, these people had no idea of the decorum, and that they should be treated with patience and welcome.
What do you think is going to happen next? What do you think should happen next because this fight's not over. There's been a battle lost, but something's going to have to continue happening in the state-federal relations. What do you think should happen next?
Well, first of all, we should all raise a hand to South Carolina, which passed H.C.R. 6. With the exact verbiage that I put into the back end of H.C.R. 6 that everybody took such great exception to.
Well, hopefully it's not hopefully no one's raising a hand to strike them like last time.
Well, they're the first one. I know that Missouri has the same language in a second resolution. They had a resolution in, I think, regarding just the 10th Amendment, and they have put in a second resolution incorporating the language of H.C.R. 6.
Okay, so the mission is partially accomplished, but just not yet accomplished in New Hampshire.
And so this means that next year there will be the son of H.C.R. 6. The coalition to submit it has already formed, and it will be more direct. It will provide a middle option, which I think was the greatest objection, and it will be a greater force.
Do you think there's a way, though, to make it more bipartisan? Because this bill, it felt very Republican to me as I read it. And is there a way to get it so that Democrats can be more comfortable with it?
Well, 3 of the members whose names will appear on the bill, I hope, are Democrats. Certainly Representative Roberts and Representative Winters have volunteered to help craft and submit the legislation.
Oh, good for them. And the other question I had, isn't there some kind of an issue, though, with you can't submit the same exact bill, or the same, or you can't even submit super similar bills one year after another?
Okay. No, the answer is, your question was, or did you film it?
Yeah, I filmed the question, actually.
No. The rule is that you cannot submit the same bill twice. This will not be the same bill in any way, in any stretch of the imagination. The flowery language of Jefferson will be removed because it's no longer necessary. The foundation has been laid. The principles in that language will be excerpted and restated in contemporary language for the dumbed-down reader, and the resolution itself, while it will contain some of the same elements, will be far more substantial.
Okay. All right. Well, Dan Itza, thanks for getting it this far, and good luck with it next time around.
And the great thing is, by moving it to next year, it will be an election issue.
Nice. We could always use one of those. All right. Thanks, Dan. This edition of the Ridley Report was brought to you by the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance, working to fight for freedom in New Hampshire State House. But you know how I'm always saying that if you do this at the New Hampshire State House, you're gonna hit one of the New Hampshire Liberty activists. Well, let's just try it and see what happens.
Hey, what are you doing?
See, it works. If you do this at the New Hampshire State House, you will hit a member of the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance. Mr. Dave Ridley signing off for RidleyReport.com, sponsored by NHLiberty. You guys can say it.
NHLiberty.org.
No, that's not how I say it. NHLiberty.org.
ORG.
All right. Thanks,
Not
guys.
that anymore, dog.
NHLiberty.org.